The year is 2021. ByteDance, the Chinese tech company behind the viral social media app TikTok, is valued at an astonishing $425 billion. The company's finances couldn't look better. ByteDance had experienced unprecedented growth. It recorded over 1.9 billion users across its vast array of services, which included popular Chinese news platform Toutiao, the short-form video sharing app TikTok, and its Chinese twin Douyin, among others. Compared to last year's earnings, its revenue more than doubled, reaching as high as $34.3 billion. But in May of that very same year, something unexpected happened. Zhang Yiming, the founder of the Chinese tech giant, resigned under mysterious circumstances. Right then and there, the question on everyone's mind was, why? Why quit when you're at the top? Why step down after your years of diligent hard work have finally started to pay off? Did TikTok's meteoric rise place him in the unforeseen intelligence battle between the US and China? A conflict he had no part in, yet found himself sitting at its forefront nonetheless. Was it the endless conspiracies, lawsuits, and accusations woven against his company by countries all over the globe? Or was it, perhaps, something far more sinister? To figure out the solution to this problem, one must first look at how TikTok's creator got to where he is today. This is the tragic tale of Zhang Yiming, a story of a man who lacked business acumen, but more than made up for it with sheer brilliance. A story of a man who let his dreams carry him ever so high, only to end up getting scorched by the sun. Zhang Yiming's name roughly translates to surprising everyone with a first attempt. He was born in 1983 as part of a generation who witnessed firsthand the impacts of China's economic transformation. His home province, Fujian, is situated along China's southeastern coast and was among the first Chinese regions to open up to the Western world. During the 1980s and 1990s, China underwent a major transformation, transitioning many of its state-owned enterprises into private companies. This marked the advent of their shift to a socialist market economy. Zhang's father served as the manager of one such company, an electronics factory situated in the city of Dongguan. Thanks to this, young Zhang is mesmerized by some of the innovative technology and cutting-edge tools his father would, on occasion, bring up during family gatherings. Luckily for Zhang, his parents weren't your typical Chinese family. Instead of adopting a parenting style that ruled over every aspect of their child's life, they had their own unique way of raising him. Soon after their son's birth, they decide to embrace a more lenient approach, encouraging him to seek innovation, explore his passions, and find his own path in life. At such a young age, not only did Zhang learn a great deal about the tech industry from his father, but coupled with how he was raised, he also rapidly developed an aptitude for creativity and initiative, instilling within him an unwavering passion for entrepreneurship and innovation. In his high school years, Zhang was awkward, shy, and reclusive, yet highly intelligent. He particularly excelled in maths and science, often resorting to statistics and logical deductions to solve problems so complex they would often leave students and teachers alike bewildered. When it came time to choose the right college, he narrowed his choices down to 4 criteria: far away from home where he can enjoy independence, north where it snows, near shorelines so he can enjoy his favourite seafood entrees more often, or a college with an even gender ratio, making it easier for him to meet girls. He eventually settled on Nankai University, enrolling in 2001. He initially sets his eyes on majoring in microelectronics, before eventually switching to software engineering instead. At Nankai University, Zhang stands out amongst his peers with his remarkable genius. He quickly acclimatizes to college life, adjusting without a hitch, and outperforming other students during a time they usually struggled to adjust. His academic performance is so extraordinary that it not only earns him the admiration of college professors, but also his classmates, who begin seeking assistance from him with their coursework. He was so good with computers in particular that students would often ask him to fix their computers or help them with coding projects. One day, Zhang is approached by a female student who asked him to take a look at her computer. As their gazes met for the first time, Zhang is instantly mesmerized by the young girl's eyes. It was love at first sight. He continues repairing her computer and helping her out with school projects until she finally agrees to date him. This young girl ultimately becomes his happily ever after. In 2005, 22-year-old Zhang graduated from Nankai with flying colours. After graduating, he's eager to put his skills to use. His first opportunity came knocking in February of 2006. It was at a digital travel booking startup known as Kushun. Kushun, one of the pioneering travel apps in China, was an immediate hit with travellers due to its impressive range of services, which included booking flights and hotels as trains, all at competitive prices. Naturally, Kushun was the ideal place to acquire the skills he needed. After all, the end goal always was for Zhang to start his own company in the future. In his first year, Zhang noticed Kushun had very few employees. In fact, there were only 4 other people. He was an ordinary engineer at the time and was quite accustomed to getting things done on his own. Kushun's status as a small-time business doesn't last for very long. Zhang's unrivaled problem-solving skills, sharp mind, and ability to effortlessly adapt and overcome all play a crucial role in the company's success, catapulting him to the position of Kushun's technical director. In just 1 year, he finds himself in charge of over 40 other employees. His desire to pursue excellence often led him to butt heads with fellow co-workers. He was primarily responsible for the technical side of things, but when a product encountered issues, he would play an active role in the problem-solving aspect and wouldn't rest until a plan was put in play. Needless to say, some of his co-workers didn't take too kindly to this, as they felt Zhang was overstepping his boundaries and that he should just stick to his lane. But Zhang's refusal to settle for mediocrity often overshadowed these grievances. One day, after 6 months with Kushun, Zhang was desperate for a ticket home to Fujian in time for the Spring Festival holidays. With availability being especially scarce during this period of time, his only solution was to continually refresh the app in search of an open seat on the train. Frustrated, he decides to put his computer wizardry to good use, generating a unique code that would notify him via simple text as soon as tickets were available. Miraculously, just 10 minutes after writing the code, he is alerted that there's a ticket on sale. Wasting no time, he immediately snags it before it disappears. Zhang is amazed at the utility of this feature, its simplicity, its ability to deliver pertinent information directly to him. This insight would remain at the forefront of his mind for years to come. In 2008, just 2 years after joining Kushun and making rapid progress up the ranks, he decided to leave the company for what he believed to be a better career opportunity. He goes on to work for Microsoft. Although many engineers would kill for a shot like this, Zhang soon realizes Microsoft isn't a right fit for him. He felt that the company's corporate rules were crushing his creative capabilities. More importantly, he felt that working there was too easy and terribly inefficient. Unlike most of his young peers, who would probably stick it out anyway and push through so they can put it on their resume, he decides to move on from Microsoft just 6 months after getting hired. Once more, Zhang begins looking for another job. One evening, he receives a phone call from a former university colleague. They ask Zhang to partner up with them on a startup venture. The aim is to supply companies and organizations with identity and asset management solutions, a service they believe the market was missing out on at the time. Zhang feels excited about this concept and decides to join up, resulting in the launch of his first ever business, Fanfu, a startup focused on social networking and microblogging services. Sadly, because of misaligned market positioning strategies, the startup struggles to break even. After investing a full year of hard work into trying to turn it around, Zhang throws in his towel and Fanfu is deemed a failure. For many, this would be a tremendous blow to one's self-esteem. But Zhang saw things differently. His time at Fanfu not only helped refine his entrepreneurial spirit, but it also gave him a much-needed motivational boost. After such a failure, he was now more determined than ever to succeed. Zhang keeps pushing forward, One day, he discovers that Kushun is going to be acquired by Expedia, an online travel agency situated in Seattle, and recognizes a golden opportunity. He takes over the real estate search division of Kushun's operation and uses some connections to establish his first successful company, 99fang.com, a real estate search business. Under Zhang's leadership, 99fang achieved remarkable success within just 6 months of its inception. With the launch of 6 applications to its platform, 99fang is able to amass an impressive 1.6 million user base, turning it into the leading real estate platform in China. 2 years down the line, Zhang noticed that user traffic was beginning to shift from traditional desktop computers to smartphones. With this in mind, he hires a professional administrator to take over as CEO of 99fang in 2012, stepping away from the big seat in pursuit of something far more ambitious. At the ripe age of 29, with an abundance of startup and management expertise under his belt, Zhang only has one goal in mind: to build a revolutionary company that will transform numerous industries. The company's name is ByteDance. The company had humble beginnings, starting in a 20,000 yuan a month, $3,000, 4-bedroom Beijing apartment that doubled as a workspace and living quarters. The conditions were surprisingly good for a startup, and as a bonus, the neighborhood was lovely, and the team enjoyed delicious home-cooked meals twice a day. Zhang was delighted with the apartment he chose. He knew just how drastically one's environment could affect their mindset. He understood that a luxurious headquarters could not only inhibit creativity, but also inspire comparison. All in all, his office space may have been small, but his dreams were anything but tiny. One day, he noticed that Chinese smartphone users were having difficulty finding helpful content in the apps they used. It certainly didn't help that Baidu, one of the most popular search engines in China at the time, was adding undisclosed ads within its search results. Just like that, an epiphany. Zhang thinks to himself, why not use AI to push relevant content to users? To develop an app that would use advanced algorithms to classify news according to users' preferences. The concept was viable in principle, but it necessitated huge investments. Obtaining initial capital can be difficult in any market, but it was an exceptionally daunting challenge in a sector filled with so many failed attempts. Zhang knows he's onto something, and unlike Fanfu, this time he's not going to let his hard work go to waste. He goes to work, pitching his idea to countless venture capitalists in hopes of securing the money he needs, but strikes no luck. His idea is deemed too risky and his business model too unstable. But then, just as everyone is about to give up on his idea, a glimmer of hope shines through. SIG Susquehanna, a Pennsylvania investor group, sees merit in Zhang's business plan, investing $5 million during the initial Series A round of funding. Now all that was left was for ByteDance to deliver, and that's exactly what it does, launching Neihan Duanzi, an app where users can share memes, jokes, and funny videos. Neihan Duanzi exploded in popularity, garnering over 200 million users in just 5 years. 5 months later, ByteDance strikes again, launching the news and content platform Toutiao. After securing its spot as China's #1 news aggregator service, Toutiao became the company's core product. Seemingly overnight, ByteDance is now regarded as one of China's most innovative tech companies. Everyone wants a piece of the action. General Atlantic, SoftBank, Primavera Capital Group, Morgan Stanley, and Goldman Sachs all come knocking at Zhang's doorstep, eager to invest even during ByteDance's later rounds of funding. Thanks to Zhang's leadership, ByteDance is now seen as the next Facebook, or even the next Google. By launching one hit app after another and making acquisitions left and right, it expanded at an unprecedented pace. In December 2016, it invested in the Indonesian news recommendation platform Babe. 2 months later, in February 2017, it acquired Flippergram, a photo and video app that lets users modify photos and videos, insert their own music, and add effects on top. But in 2017, Zhang made the most notable investment in his career. He set eyes on acquiring Musical.ly, an app that allows users to create and share short lip-sync videos. Musical.ly had over 60 million users at the time, most of whom were from the US. But why cast your attention on the overseas market so quickly? Especially since most of your services haven't even reached their full potential back home. Early on in Toutiao's life, Zhang noticed that overall user demand for Chinese news feeds reached an estimated 240 million daily active users, DAUs. Assuming a single company could hog half of the market, which is already challenging enough, it would still be limited to just 120 million DAUs. With the realization that Toutiao was quickly nearing its growth ceiling, Zhang decides internationalization is the only solution. From there, ByteDance's strategy was simple. Make use of an existing product shell and integrate its cutting-edge recommendation algorithms, user growth strategies, and monetization systems into it. In this regard, Musical.ly's acquisition came at just the right time. Once Musical.ly was brought into the fold, it was merged with Flipagram to create the app that would disrupt the social media landscape, TikTok. In less than a decade, TikTok went from a niche platform filled with lip-syncing teenagers to the most widely used app in all Western countries. It even threatened to dethrone Facebook. It goes without saying, one cannot attain great success without making a few enemies along the way. In TikTok's case, Facebook and other social media companies grew worried about its rapid growth and how it was taking away their users. This led to a full-on war with allegations of privacy breaches, ads targeting kids, data misuse, censorship, etc., all being thrown at ByteDance by their competitors. Meta's Facebook and Instagram go on the offensive, changing up their algorithm and introducing their own form of short video content, known as Reels, all in an effort to capitalize on TikTok's winning formula. There have even been numerous speculations that Mark Zuckerberg utilized his influence within the American political spectrum in hopes of getting TikTok banned in the US. Although no evidence or confirmation of such allegations exists, one cannot deny how much Meta would benefit from such a decision. TikTok's remarkable success was propelled by a series of astute decisions. User-friendly video creation tools that blurred the lines between creators and consumers more than YouTube ever could. An expansive catalogue of licensed music, granting teens the freedom to use any song for their videos without having to worry about copyright infringement. As well as a costly but effective ad campaign, which ensured new users were continually flowing in. However, the most important asset in TikTok's arsenal was its powerful algorithm, which enabled it to keep users engaged longer than any of its competitors. The algorithm was exceptionally good at predicting which videos from around the site would pique a user's interest. In fact, some users were even creeped out by the app's uncanny ability to know exactly what they wanted to see. It was almost as if it was spying on them. As is the case with any social media platform, whether it be Facebook, Instagram or Twitter, there are bound to be concerns about user privacy. But TikTok's case, primarily due to its Chinese origins, was particularly scrutinized. On one hand, almost any third-party service that receives user data can utilize this data for nefarious purposes. Facebook's involvement in the 2016 and 2020 US election cycles is a prime example. But that doesn't mean that every social media platform is a threat. On the other, the United States has a plethora of regulations and laws that constrain the government's influence. China, however, doesn't really have such safeguards. In 2020, India enacted a comprehensive ban on TikTok across all devices in the country. Additionally, several other nations, such as Australia, began to contemplate implementing similar measures. That very same year, TikTok was declared a national security threat and a Chinese surveillance tool by the Trump administration. TikTok is presented with an ultimatum: either free itself from ByteDance's control or be shut down by the US for good. In the end, a deal was almost struck between Oracle, the multinational computer technology corporation, and Walmart to partner with TikTok in the US, wherein they would receive a combined 20% share of TikTok's US-based operations. Meta and the United States government are all formidable adversaries, but perhaps the biggest threat to TikTok's existence is none other than the Chinese government. The Chinese ruling Communist Party had been displeased with ByteDance as far back as 2018, when one of the company's most valuable apps, Nehanduanzi, was shut down by the government due to concerns of irregular, improper, and disruptive content made by some of its users. The decision was also followed up by a warning to ByteDance that basically read, "Get in line, handle your business correctly, or else." Nehanduanzi's ban was so controversial that it sparked outrage among its mostly adolescent user base, with thousands taking to the streets to protest this decision. A few days later, Zhang apologizes to the government, promising that ByteDance would place more emphasis on censorship, construct a blacklist of problematic users, and build superior technology to better monitor user content. In terms of getting on the government's good side, this apology would accomplish very little. Just 3 years later, on the 4th of November 2021, Zhang relinquishes his position as CEO of ByteDance, citing a desire to concentrate on the company's long-term strategy and expressing that he would rather dedicate himself to reading and daydreaming than the daily challenges of managing an international business. The truth is, I lack some of the skills that make an ideal manager. Undeniably, this statement was a surprise to those familiar with Zhang's character. Rumours spread that the main motivation behind his departure was China intensifying its monitoring of prominent tech companies like ByteDance, which even encouraged other prominent tech bosses, like Jack Ma, to try and keep a low profile. Zhang is a man who meticulously calculates his actions. When you look at the fact that a number of influential business leaders have previously been arrested, sidelined, and silenced, the decision to step away from the spotlight may very well be his smartest decision yet. In the last few years, TikTok has captivated the social media sphere with a user base of over 1 billion people worldwide. However, due to various bans and regulations nations are implementing on the app, its notable growth might come to a sudden halt. While some argue that banning TikTok is the right thing to do, others argue that the app now plays a crucial role in our global economy, namely due to its marketing potential. Influencer marketing is an ever-growing sector where influencers help to boost product sales and provide a living for themselves through the app. In 2021, over half of the marketers had planned on increasing their budget for TikTok campaigns alone, showcasing how vital influencers are in terms of gaining traction with customers. As a result, imposing restrictions on TikTok could have severely impacted small businesses, as TikTok users are 15% more likely to shop from local enterprises when compared with social media followers in general. That's not to say that the app is without its flaws. Since the onslaught of TikTok, our attention spans have been steadily on the decline as we gravitate towards bite-sized videos and stories. This is nearly 20 minutes long, so if you're listening to this, proud of you. Even if TikTok just up and vanishes from the global stage, it is not to be discounted for transforming marketing as well as our lives in general.